Friends, Joe here with Matt Pooley, and we're at the Pooley Cellar door, and we quickly just want to touch on a variety that most people maybe have not heard of or have heard of but may not be very aware of, and it's a variety called Gewurztraminer, and Pooley do this variety really well. So yeah, fire away.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, it's a great variety. I certainly had at least 20 years of experience, you know, seeing the variety come through when I was working with Andrew Hood at his contract winemaking business, seeing all the parcels come from all over the state. Our first vintage was 2014, so, you know, this being our 2024 vintage, you know, 10 years down the track of making the wine, it's been a great success. Lovely variety, very aromatic, very lifted, nice, not over sweet. There's the natural sweetness from the fruit that's just sort of detectable on the palate, but again, good acid there to help give great drive and length to the wine. So yeah. Very, you know, again, really well made, coming from Anna, my sister, and her husband Justin's experience overseas. Yeah. Anna working in Austria, focusing on this variety, working with Hugel over there, doing a vintage, and, you know, really learn a lot from that experience. So.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful wine, and you know, it has its origins in Germany, and Gewürz, if you translate that into English, means spicy, and that's certainly a character that I always see come through in Gewurztraminer when you compare, say, Riesling or other floral varieties like Pinot Gris. They don't have this little spicy note, which is really lovely. Very few varieties, are so concentrated like this. Yeah. It makes it a great food match too, doesn't it?
Oh, you know, any sort of Asian style dishes, it's really well suited. Yeah, it just is really lifted and quite pleasant. I like, certainly this vintage is great because it's not really overtly aromatic, which, you know, can be good to some. I tend not to go that excessive overtness in the aromas. So this has got some great balance, and, you know, it's just the subtleties of it which are really attractive.
And it's got a really tight acid line too, isn't it? So that's something that Gewurztraminer doesn't always have either, I don't think.
No.
It can be sort of quite refined in the acidity often.
Yes, and perhaps just lacking that acid drive to give it to make it stand up and be noticed, and just tends to be a little bit wishy-washy. But, you know, concentration is awesome in this variety. So yeah, and we've got plans to put more in. So this, admittedly, we source this from the north of the state, from the Tamar. We have done for the last, that's probably around about 11 years. 10, 11 years. So struck up a good relationship. Initially first sourced it from the Coal Valley, where it was grown, but a lot of it throughout the state has been pulled out and not continued on because of its spasmodic yielding performances. So, but such a rewarding variety when you get it right.
It's also, it can be a hard sell as well, with people not really understanding what it is. So so you must find at Cellar door, when people try this wine, they sometimes have a new experience.
Yeah, it is, and that's where our staff are great. They're fully briefed on the variety, and they help, you know, our guests and visitors just, you know, ease into the variety and just explain the full side of it. And it's a lovely eye opener to visitors as well. So no, good wine.
Fantastic. Thank you, Matt.
Pleasure. Cheers.